I've just started going back through my seed box. Got quite a collection of seeds in there, what we built up over the last year or more. And because now we're in May, we can start and direct sow things outside. We've still got lots of containers where we're growing plants that we've multi-sown. And those will be pricking out at some point and moving on into their own individual cells. Meanwhile, we can prepare some ground outside in hoop tunnel, get rid of oat weeds, pop in a bit of fertiliser, and then we can direct sow certain seeds into that area and just leave them to grow on. And I'm going to be doing things in rows quite close together as well, because we're not doing huge plants. So we're going to be doing things like carrots. But I have said I'm not planting carrots in ground anymore because of that carrot root fly problem. But I got some new seeds this year and they're called resistor fly. So I thought we'll see if they're any good and we'll do a couple of rows of these resistor fly carrot seeds. Then we'll do some radish because they're fast growing and they're perfect for harvesting just for salad leaves. Or you could just leave some to grow on and get your bulbs. We'll do a row or two of spring onions as well. And I'll go through this box and I'll see what else is in there. Because we might as well get as many rows of different varieties as we can in what's going to be quite a small area. So we'll have a look through, I'll decide what we're going to do, we'll get that hoop tunnel weeded and ready, and then today we'll get some of these seeds sown. And I'm going to use part of this hoop tunnel because it is quite long, but we've obviously got a lot of weeding to do before we can plant anything. So we'll crack on with that first and then we'll get started. We have got other hoop tunnels as well, but they're already planted up with onions and calabrese. So we'll do something different in this area. Well, there we go. That actually only took about 15 minutes. So we pull all weeds out and we've given it a rake and level it out a little bit. So now we'll get rid of all these weeds and we'll start getting this planted up with something. So after a lot of searching through all these seeds, I've picked out quite a few different ones. We'll go down there now. We're going to make some very shallow drills and then we'll get these seeds put in. So I'm just going to use this piece of wood that I've cut to size, and then I'm going to sink it in to that compost. And then we've got a nice straight line for sowing the seeds, and it's not too deep either. And then we'll go again, not too far apart because I'm putting carrots in this part. So just a few inches between. Then we've got two nice straight drills to start us off. And we'll put that piece of wood there because that's his marker for his next line. So we'll start with these carrots. And they're the ones called resistor fly. So hopefully they'll do what it says on the packet. And of course this is one of those finger and thumb jobs, sprinkling seeds in as thin as you can. You're going to have to thin them out at some point anyway, but as long as we've got a few seeds in there and there's not loads all in one place, we should be alright. A bit closer up, just carefully rubbing finger and thumb while moving at the same time to try and get something like an even spacing. Trial and error, but you'll get there eventually. And it's virtually impossible to do this perfect. because the carrot seeds are so small. So we'll just finish off this row. And hopefully we'll get some good germination. And that's as carrots sown. So all we need to do then is just flick that compost back over the top, because it's nice and light. And then we just have to wait for these seeds to germinate. And because we left that wood in place, we know exactly where this next line needs to be. So again, make that drill. I'm moving it on just a couple of inches again. 3 to 4 for what I'm planting. And we've got 2 more drills. And in these, we're doing spinach. Spinach is a bit easier to work with because they're quite big seeds, but we also don't mind multi-sowing it, so we get nice bunches of fresh spinach. So basically plant this however you want. Again, you can always thin it out later on, but we like to get quite dense bunches of spinach growing. So that's quite a lot of seeds we've put in there. So then I'm going to make my next marker again. And I know exactly where I am. And then we can cover these plants over. Again, very lightly, not too deep. Now we're ready for his next seeds. And we're doing 2 more rows again. And that's going to be beetroot. So once again, really big seeds, very easy to sow. But we're going to grow these for salad leaf and bulbs. So some will cut and some will leave to grow on. And that's why I'm putting quite a lot of seeds in. Of course, if you only want to grow them for bulbs, then you can just space your seeds out. That's another one done. So, next marker. Make that drill. Cover those seeds. And for these 2 rows, I'm doing spring onions, because we use a lot of those green onion tops. And again, I'm multi-sowing. Not too bothered how these come up, because we're only cutting tops off them anyway. And I'll probably let one of these rows grow into mature bulbs. And because we're planting them quite close together, we're still going to be able to pull up small bunches. Very quick and easy to do this. And then you know exactly where everything is. And if you want to label each row, that's up to you. But all these plants I've put in look different once they've germinated. So they're pretty easy to distinguish varieties. And for today, that's all I'm doing, because it's just started spitting a rain. So I'm going to put that marker back in, ready for the next ones tomorrow. And I can just carry on, knowing exactly where I am. And we'll just cover these onions up first. So that's that section done. and we better get this net back over the top, because there's nothing cats love more than freshly dug and raked compost. So definitely a job worth doing today. Got lots and lots of different varieties of vegetables all growing in that small area, and they're only 3 to 4 inches apart, but for those particular varieties that's plenty of room, and we've multi-sown everything. When it comes to the carrots, we will be thinning them once we can see how densely they've been planted. But for other things like spinach, we want those to grow into big full bunches of leaves, so we can just keep harvesting them and then letting them regrow, ready for another harvest. But I think for one day that's about it. It's late afternoon now, it's just started spitting with rain, and we've got quite a lot of rain to come after tomorrow, somewhere around 10 days of rain. But that's going to work out really well for that bed that we've just done, because carrot seeds especially don't like drying out, so there's not much risk of that happening over the next few days. So hopefully that'll lead to faster and better germination. But although it is raining outside, it's dry as a bone in this greenhouse, so before I go in I've just got to water a few of these plants, so keep your eye on that. It may be wet outside, but in your greenhouse it's consistently dry, especially when that sun comes out for a couple of hours. And tomorrow we'll go back down there and we'll do a few more rows. Because we've mapped it all out with that board, we know exactly where everything is, and we can just keep going and going until we get right to the end of that hoop tunnel. And if you're interested in seeing what we're going to be doing next, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.